Welcome to a short introduction of the different electronic decay processes. Every electronic decay process is initiated by ionization or excitation from an inner shell, which creates a vacancy. The created excited state can decay in different ways. It can decay by photon emission, coupling to vibrations in case of molecules, or it can decay via an electronic decay process like the Auger process or the ICD process. Let us first have a closer look at the Auger process. Here, the vacancy is filled with an electron from an outer shell, and then the excess energy is used to emit another electron, so that we end up with a doubly ionized final state. This process was initially discovered by Auger-Meitner in 1922, and that was then investigated in more detail by Pierre Auger from 1923 on. Today, this process is, for example, used in Auger electron spectroscopy. It is element-specific and is therefore used for surface analysis in metallurgy, for quality analysis of microelectronics, and for the mechanistic studies of heterogeneous catalysis. As already mentioned, the Auger-Meitner process is not the only electronic decay process. Another one is the Interatomic Coulombic Decay, in which we ionize from one entity, fill the vacancy with an electron from the same entity, transfer the energy to a neighboring atom or molecule. And this one then gets ionized. This creates two entities which are both singly ionized and positively charged, and therefore repel each other, and a free electron. Electronic decay processes have their resonant counterparts, which are not initiated by ionization, but by inner shell excitation. We will now look at the spectator resonant interatomic Coulombic decay process. Here we excite from an inner shell, the vacancy is filled by a different electron, and the excess energy is used to emit an electron from a neighboring atom or molecule. We end up with an excited entity, an ion, and a free electron. The excited entity can decay further, for example by fluorescence. This process is then usually much slower. The work presented on this poster focuses on these class of resonant electronic decay processes. The ICD and its different variants are found in a multitude of different systems. For example, in semiconductors, they are found in proteins, for example in the photolysis, where they explain the repair mechanism of this protein. It has been found that it can be used to enhance the double ionization threshold, and it has been speculated that the ICD process is the mechanism behind the radiation damage of DNA. In order for an electronic decay process to occur, the final state energy needs to be lower than the initial state energy, such that the emitted electron can carry away the excess energy. In case of the atomic Auger-Meitner process, we can determine the fulfillment of the energy conservation by comparing the single ionization potential for the initial state with the double ionization potential of the final state. In case of the ICD process, where we have multiple entities involved, the initial state energy can still be found by taking the single ionization potential. However, the final state energy will depend on the interatomic or distance, and hence also the kinetic energy of the emitted electron depends on the interatomic distance. How an inner shell excited state decays depends on the lifetime of the different decay processes. The Auger process usually has lifetimes in the order of attoseconds to femtoseconds. The interatomic Coulombic decay usually has lifetimes in the order of femtoseconds to picoseconds. The coupling to the nuclear motion usually has a lifetime of about 10 picoseconds, and the photon emission has a lifetime between picoseconds and nanoseconds. That means that if an electronic decay process is energetically accessible, it usually outperforms the other pathways.